again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 Hardcore Series here on the PS5. Tonight, round 6 of Season 5. We are heading to Imola for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And so, new engines are going in our cars tonight. We were very close to having race-winning pace last night in Miami. Just couldn't quite keep up with Max. And I think if we'd had those new engines in the car last night, we probably would have been able to win. But wanted to try and prolong the switchover as long as we could, and just stretch a bit more life out of that engine before we did actually switch it over. So we had to settle for second and fourth in the end, but that's still not bad, is it? You know, another podium. So as you can see, we are 25 points behind Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship, and Oscar is 14 points behind Max in the Drivers' Championship. So still well within range in both championships. And if we can get new units, new powertrains in the car tonight and win this Grand Prix, that really will close those gaps right back down again. So let's go ahead straight away, first of all, and let's have a look at whether anyone else has brought upgrades to their cars. So we are third in terms of straight line speed, first in acceleration, first in DRS, first in medium and low speed downforce, fifth in the high speed. So it looks like there has been a little bit of movement since the last race. Let's see. Red Bull look to have maybe improved a little bit since the last race. Take a look at Alpine. And Mercedes. Let's see who is the quickest car. Actually, Alfa Romeo pretty fast. Yeah, look at that. They are right on us in terms of top speed. So, and look at the downforce as well. Wow. No wonder Hajar was so quick last night. Look at that car. That's a really good car. Where does that come from Alfa Romeo? The only thing that's letting them down is their engine cooling, really. I mean, they've got better dirty air performance than us, better high speed than us, better brakes than us, and everything else is very close to us. Okay, that is very interesting. Not Haas who's fastest. Williams. Of course it's Williams. It's always Williams that are rocket ships. So, yeah. It's just as well as by 0.01 kilometers per hour. That's very, very close. But Williams will be fast tonight as well, by the look of it. Maybe not as fast, but pretty fast. Let's take a quick look at the track layout. Now you see a lot of high-speed sections, you know, where it's flat out, that long main straight, obviously, and then once you get through the first corners, another long straight section where it's flat out until we get towards the high-speed turn just before Tosa, and then the hairpin of Tosa going up the hill. Then we start to get into the slightly more technical area, some high-speed corners, medium speeds of Aqua Minerale, and then the chicane, low speed, before another blast of full speed down towards the last couple of corners, which are both medium. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixture. I think this is going to suit our car really, really well, and I think we are probably in with a better chance of a win tonight than we were last night, as long as the Red Bulls don't change their powertrains. See how that goes. Let's head to Imola. Actually, before we do that, let's set some performance targets. It would help, wouldn't it? All right. How are you doing, Jeremy? How are you doing, Victor? So the incentive is 2 in the top 4. Might not get that. We'll try. We'll go 2 in each of the quality sessions there. 2 in the top 6 for 2 races is the new finish. And we're 3 down, 2 to go in the quali streak. Now we'll head to Imola.
Welcome along to Italy, and welcome along to Imola. After returning to the Formula One calendar in 2020, Imola is now home to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. This historic track's original outline might remain, but updates to the circuit ensure that racing here feels just as exciting in modern times. Imola has no fewer than 4 chicanes, with the Variantes putting a slow-speed corner into every sector around this historic circuit. It's a high downforce track with sharp turns breaking up the straights. In the last round, Max Verstappen flew to victory, the Dutchman proving that he can be absolutely unstoppable when he's in such fine form. Stay with us then as the weekend gets underway.
Okay, evening Baron, evening Sidhu, good to see you guys as well. Let's get ready for practice. So we are going to put Ollie in the car tonight. He hasn't had a run in a couple of races. Swap those gearboxes back over. Let's see, Imola is 20 laps. There we go. And let's put a setup on. Let's start with a 7, 12.5, a 3.7, a 3.5, and a 0.05. There we go. So that's mixed car setup. Let's take a look at Oscar. Start by putting in that older gearbox. There we go. Evening Packins. What do I want to go here? I'm going to go with another 7 on the front, a 12.5, but go with the 4.6 this time. And we'll go with a 3.5 and 0.01 or 0.10. Again, we want 20 laps. Got settings down like so. Ooh, excuse me. We are ready to send them out. Just need to switch the tyres. Medium tyres for Ollie. There we go.
Yes, radio check loud and clear.
Radio check.
Yeah, copy, same. Watch those curbs.
Copy.
A bit less curb.
Yeah.
And there we go. Let's see how we do. So, Giovinazzi, slightly quicker than Charles Leclerc. both on the hard tyres, so that's comparable. We saw before the race that the Williams is looking pretty punchy. Decent downforce levels, not amazing, but decent, but very quick in a straight line. They're following the rocket ship approach that we had last season, which worked out really well for us. We were so quick in a straight line last year that we were the quick once we hit Baku and we got that round of updates started on our car. We were the quickest car for the rest of the entire season. Nobody actually ever caught us up and took that spot from us, I don't think. I know Alpine got very, very close to us. But I think we stayed the fastest overall car for the rest of the year. Unfortunately, we didn't have the downforce to back that speed up.
Copy that.
So we did struggle in certain situations, but yeah, generally we didn't do too bad. Let's call Ollie in. Save the running on that car. And make those changes straight away. And it's just the roll bar. So I'm going to bring that into a 4.6 and then just tweak accordingly. Try that. All right, 89% for Oscar, so we'll need slightly more work. But it's not a bad start. All right, then let's see what we need to do here. Okay. Let's go the opposite way. Let's go with a 3.7 here. So. No, wait, I just realised I've been putting Miami. No, I didn't put Miami setups on. I think I might have tweaked to a Miami setup. I was looking at the Miami setups when I tweaked Ollie's setup there. Let me have a look at the the Imola setups here. Make sure I don't go the wrong way. So there's not a lot of changes to make, really. I think that might be all we need to do. I'm going to leave it at that. Just see if that's enough. There are small, subtle changes to the oversteer, the braking, and the cornering that all are required. Doesn't touch the straights. Fixes the roll bar, potentially, assuming I've gone the right way with the roll bar. So yeah, we'll just go with that. Got to keep an eye on Alfa Romeo tonight as well, because they've got a hell of a car. As you see Zane Maloney spinning on the penultimate corner there. And there is Behrman in the background. Gasly currently quickest. Oh, I was going to say Leclerc just behind with an identical time, and then Leclerc goes a little bit quicker. We're getting some good data. All the cars are on track, so at the end we will be looking at the data view as well, checking out the state of powertrains for everybody. I'm sure there'll be one or two that will have already switched over to a new engine, simply because of damage. That might be one of the reasons why Hajar was so quick last night. I think he wrecked his car earlier in the season. There we go, perfect setup for Behrman. We'll call him in. He's done his job beautifully today. Now we just need to wait for Ollie's feedback. No, sorry, Oscar's feedback.
How's the balance?
And we got his car spot on as well. Excellent stuff. So really, really solid first practice. Both cars exactly where they need to be now. And we've got some experience boosting done for Ollie Behrman as well. So Mick will run along in the next couple of sessions. Get his track time up. No new parts on the car tonight in terms of aero parts. So our car part knowledge will be maxed out. So we should hit 100% with both of our drivers tonight in terms of starting confidence, which will be nice. Alright, let's go to data view. Stroll in the end, topping the fastest times. Let's take a look at cars. So Russell's engine is looking a little bit shaky. He's got a brand new gearbox in tonight. Perez still running an older gearbox as well as a dodgier engine. Norris's engine is pretty close to going. His gearbox has slipped. Same with Ocon. So the Red Bulls have now hit that little dip. Max hasn't changed anything yet, nor Charles Leclerc. So we should have the acceleration boost that we need and cornering, advantage tonight to beat the Red Bulls. Still looking pretty good for Bottas. His gearbox is right on the cusp though. That will go in the next session. Joe not quite so fortunate. Sainz running an old engine, Albon running an old engine, and now his ERS is damaged as well. He's got a reasonably new gearbox in the car. Has dipped, his gearbox has just gone as well. Giovinazzi is running a relatively new gearbox, but his engine. Maloney, brand new engine. I remember Maloney totaled his car a couple of times, so yeah, makes sense that he's got a brand new powertrain in tonight. His ERS is dodgy. Looks like he's had to replace the gearbox already as well, and that one's already seen a fair bit of use, down to 70%. And there you see the difference. Porsche running original spec parts by the look of it. Hajar has a new gearbox, but his engine has gone. That's staying there. Bashir, similar situation. Looks like he changed his gearbox in the previous race. ERS unit on Bashir's car is also about to go. Stroll. Okay, weak engine, weak gearbox. Gasly, who we know has had a big wreck, is already a good chunk of a way through the life of that. I'm seeing a big spinny circle. Alright, looks like you guys have just started moving again. Hopefully we won't have any issues with the stream connection tonight. Keep an eye on that. So, we're going to go hard tyres with Mick, and we're going to run him for the entire session. So we want 45 laps of fuel. Run him to the flag. Oscar's going to run the mediums, and is going to run for 32 laps of fuel, I think. So, you know, 30 will be fine. Again, drop those settings down. And off we go.
Green light, green light.
A bit less curb.
Yep, copy.
Alright, no pressure with the setups. They're already done. So literally just running now until they finish their run or the session ends. Hope for a nice, uneventful session. No drama. No accidents, no crashes, that kind of thing.
Something seems wrong.
Stand by.
Once again, for sure, looking pretty punchy. Although, is that a tyre issue? Yes. Yeah, Max now goes quicker. A little spin
Okay, mate.
at the end of the lap there, but no damage.
Yellow flag ahead.
At least I hope no damage. Yeah, aero parts are all fine. Finally going to start watching The Last of Us TV series in the next day or two. My Disney Plus runs out tonight, so been trying to cram in as much of the stuff I can in that before that ends. I'm going to wait a few months before I think about trading in some more club card vouchers to renew that. Means I can start catching up on some of my audiobooks as well. Kind of neglected them a little bit over the last couple of months. Again, been binge watching as much as I can on Disney Plus. Yeah, I saw that headline. Yeah, I remember seeing the article, a couple of months ago now, that Lidl were suing. Was it Lidl? I think it was Lidl suing Tesco over the branding of their club card pricing, looking very, very similar to that of their own. So. Okay, why has my game just crashed? Why would it restart? Huh. I think my game just froze. It's crashed, I think, because I've tried to keep Schumacher out. That is weird. All right, well, it's not properly crashed because I've still got actions here, but you can see I'm trying to restart the session and nothing is happening. So, let's save. And now if we reload at that point, there we go. I mean, if we'd had to have restarted the session, we wouldn't really have lost too much. We'd have just lost a little bit of track time. But yeah, I think it kind of got a little... I think it's just one of those little bugs. I tried to keep Mick out at the wrong point, at just the wrong time, as he was literally pulling in, and for whatever reason, doing that and pausing at the same time kind of broke it a little bit. Not to be too concerned, we are back up and running again. So to the final practice session. Keeping the mediums again so that we can save the softs for the race and qualifying. 40 laps will be enough. And for Oscar, we'll go with 30 laps again. And let's send them straight back out.
2, 1, should be green.
Evening, Daniel. Oh, a crash for Zhou.
Right-hand side exit to 5.
Brought out of VSC, and he's out of the session. Where did he crash? Are we going to see a replay of it? Probably not. We never really do.
VSC virtual safety car.
Delta positive. Copy.
Nope, not going to see it. All right.
And VSC ending.
It's probably there at turn 7 at Tosa. That's where most retirements tend to happen. That or the chicane, one of those two places. That's where you can hit the wall quite easily. This race is going to hit home a little bit harder in reality this season. It'll be 30 years since the death of Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger. Definitely going to be a bleak moment. I still remember watching it as a kid. Watching the whole broadcast on TV, not knowing what was going on. And as soon as it ended, just grabbing my my radio, tuning it into BBC 5 Live, and just sitting there listening for any kind of news for the next 2 hours, and then getting the pronouncement that Senna had been pronounced brain dead. It absolutely broke my heart as a kid. Well, I say as a kid. I was 15. Alright, let's call our drivers in. Well, call Mick in. Oscar's already in the garage. I knew it was bad. I just didn't know how bad. I was, I'd seen a few shunts, and I'd heard, the concern in Murray's voice, but on previous crashes. But that one hit different because it was such a big impact, and it affected Murray for the rest of the race. And then, as I say, the announcement came a couple hours after the Grand Prix on the radio. And, horrible moment. And, of course, just 24 hours after Ratzenberger had been killed in qualifying.
Let's hope the teams took full advantage of practice. It's time for qualifying.
Alternative tyre allocation rules are in play this weekend. Teams will be limited to hard compound tyres in Q1, the medium compound tyres in Q2, and finally the softs in Q3.
Charles Leclerc has been a talking point for many of late. Karun, how do you think he's doing so far?
They were looking pretty sharp in practice and setting good lap times, so they're probably feeling fairly confident now. But a good practice time doesn't always guarantee a strong qualifying outcome.
Well, we're certainly ready in the commentary box. The drivers are getting ready down in the pit lane, and it's time for qualifying.
All right, time for quali. As explained by Karun, we're on the ATA weekend, so we are using hards in Q1. new engines going in. And we'll switch those gearboxes back over as well. There we go. And let's send them to the track.
Should be green now. Let's go there and set some lap times. Copy. So
Yeah, Formula One weekends were always a big part of my childhood growing up, just watching as many races as I could. I was even getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning for Australia and Japan to watch those races live. Evening, Anthony. Evening, Mr. Water. Good to see you guys.
clear track ahead. Gonna push next lap.
All right then.
So gap ahead is good.
Ready for our first run. Mick slightly up in the first sector. So 113.2 for Mick.
Let's cool down a box, please.
And Oscar, a tenth and a half slower.
Delta.
So a 113.3 for Oscar.
Yep.
We'll fuel them up for a 2-lap run and send them back out. May as well use up these tyres. We're not using them again this weekend. Norris looking pretty quick. Ajar is 8.5 tenths off, as is Sykes, about 8 tenths off as well. No Red Bulls on the track yet. Evening, Cloud.
Lots. Pit limiter on.
And still no Red Bulls are out.
We'll have guys waiting for you. Cars can pit lane.
As we make it back to the pits. And so does most of the rest of the field.
Again, let's concentrate on those tyres and brakes.
Okay.
To start to work on the brakes. Copy.
So we're still top of the times at the moment, but only about half the field has set a lap, or is on track to set a lap. We're still waiting on quite a few cars. Again, still no movement from Red Bull. Evening, Matt.
No traffic to be concerned about. Good to push next lap. Nice big gap ahead.
So, 2 lap run to start now with a cool down in between. See if we can just find a little bit more pace. And finally, we've got some movement in the Red Bull garage. Charles Leclerc is heading out. Purple first sector for Oscar, so he's improving. I'm expecting to see some one-stops tonight. I think I might go for the one-stop myself. Oscar is on a storming lap here. Purple in the fight in the middle sector as well. So no improvement for Mick on his first run, but Oscar goes top and is a tenth and a half quicker than Mick. So he found 3/10 on that lap. A 1:13.1 now the new default time. Charles Leclerc about to start his first flying run. Max has got to come out soon, surely.
Let's take advantage of some clear air in front. Let's go. Good to push next lap. So we should be good on traffic. Good to push.
And Max finally now heading out. And Leclerc comes up to the line. He's not setting any purple sectors. Mick's just gone purple in the first. Third.